receive our special guest of honor, whose profile I will read real quick. Now, usually whenever I have to read her profile, I have to decide on what portions will I read today. And even what was published here is just a fraction of all that she has. This is an amazing individual who I'm going to tell you more about later. But let me just read what we have here. So Dr. Sherry Hill is the president of Integrity International Consulting Group, LLC, and she is privileged to be a special advisor to several government and faith leaders in the United States and abroad. Among several portfolios, she serves as a consultant for the U.S. Partnership for the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, which I'm proud to say is a connection that came through one of our events. The NDDC in Nigeria has engagements here in the U.S. through this consultant, through one of these events that we did 2 years ago. And she's also a consultant in the U.S. for the Quintessential Business Women's Association. Now, Dr. Hill is a leader and visionary to the nations. Her government appointments have been with the Maryland Governor's Office of Community Initiatives as the Director of Faith-Based and Community Outreach. She facilitated meetings with state agencies and faith-based organizations and liaised with the White House of faith-based and community initiatives. She has facilitated trainings, provided consultation, appeared as a guest speaker throughout the US and internationally. She serves in an advisory capacity to government agencies, community-based and professional organizations. Now, she and her group are currently engaged with several projects in Zambia, Fiji, Malawi, Ghana, and especially Nigeria. She has a passion for Nigeria. She has made more trips from the US to Nigeria than most Nigerians that live here.
Wow.
Yes. The person I'm about to introduce to you has traveled to Nigeria about 10 times. I've seen her passport. She's more or less a citizen. Right. Now she has participated. She established a consortium of partners in the business, faith, and humanitarian arena to build and support social causes in distressed countries, primarily in the areas of agriculture, health, education, microfinance, water resources, tourism, and entrepreneurship. Now, as the president of Engage Africa International, which is the non-profit arm of Integrity International Consulting Group, which she leads. She has created a safe environment for investors to work and build relationships. She has vetted each of the country leaders and partners. Each of these leaders associated with Dr. Hill exemplify transparency, integrity, and good governance. As the founder of the Women of Significance communique and magazine, she reaches 9 countries and 18 US states. She teaches biblical wisdom strategies for real, practical, everyday challenges. She firmly believes that finding and living out one's calling is the greatest joy to accomplish. She also believes that the business world is one of the most exciting arenas where this development can happen. Ladies and gentlemen, let us please receive our special guest of honor to declare this conference open, Dr. Sherry Hill.
All right, now listen, let's get ready. Put your purse down. I'm gonna open, but I sense something. You prayed, is that right, sir? Yes. Shake your head, yes. We're going to be engaging the rest of your time because you did not fly here, spend your money to go back home with nothing. Is that right?
Yes.
And you know my preacher is about to come out. So today, everything changes. Talk to your neighbor. Say, everything changes today.
Everything changes today.
Today. You did not sit your feet in this United States not to make connections as you stated. This man right here has so many connections. If you tap into him, you tap into me, you tap into commerce, you tap into the embassy, you tap into whatever you need. One thing I have done, maybe about 2 years ago, I made a decision, and you need to hear this. I will never go to a meeting that I'm not led to go to. If I go to a meeting, there shall be impact. Tell your neighbor it's going to be impact. It's going to get ready. Get yourself ready. Now he said to make a welcome. I'm going to say open your mind and get ready. So stand to your feet. Let's get ready. I do welcome you to the greatest state ever because I live here. I mean, the greatest country, I'm sorry, because I live here. You should be saying the same thing about your country. Because I live in Nigeria, it is the greatest country ever. Now, this passion that I have, that God has given this to me in 2008, like you, I would rather sometimes turn away and do something else, but there is something that is going to happen in one of the greatest countries that I know, and it is called Nigeria. So you are here for a reason. Now let's start with this. Get ready to talk to your neighbor on 2 quotes. Listen, your feet will never go. Tell them your feet will never go.
Your face will
Never go where your mind has never been. This is what you're going to spread to those that you impart to in your universities, your practices. Let's say it one more time. Your feet will never go where your mind has never been. Now get ready for this because we're going to do high five. I'm going to tell you how to say it, then I'm going to welcome you, and then we're going to shout because we paid for this hotel, right? We paid. So we can make noise if we want. We paid for it. If you want something you never had, you have to do something you've never done. Say to your neighbor, if you want something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. Okay, now we're going to shout it out. Now, I know you're professors and practitioners and all of this, and your titles are wonderful, but let that go right now because we're about to shout. Because when you pursue something, you will have it. So if you want something you never had, you have to do something you've never done. You ready? If you want something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. One more time, and then we're going to do high five, okay? We ready? If you want something you never had, you have to do something you've never done. Give somebody a high five. And welcome to the United States of America. Thank you. Thank you. Amen. Amen.
One more time, I'd like to request that we appreciate our special guest of honor, Dr. Cheryl Hill.
Thank you.
We will hear more from her in the course of this ceremony, but at this point, I wish to hand over the microphone to officially our host, the president of the association, and I'll just read briefly from her very extensive profile. As most of us already know, she's a professor of food technology and nutrition education, and she has been a course advisor at all levels. She has taught courses in agriculture, food technology, nutrition, family relations, consumer education, hotel and catering management, general education courses within and outside the University of Benin. She was on sabbatical leave at the Department of Agriculture, Benson Idahosa University in Benin City, where she majored in home economics and hotel management unit, vocational and technical education department, Tai Solarin University of Education. She has published 2 textbooks and written in 82 journals, professional journals. She has supervised over 30 master's students and 10 PhD researchers. She is an editor-in-chief and editor of several reputable journals. She has served as external examiner to many institutions of higher learning within and outside Nigeria. She is a reviewer of many renowned journals. She's a member of the Nutrition Society Irish section, the Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology, Vocational Teachers Association of Nigeria, Home Economics Research Association, Society for Research in Higher Education, Britain, Association for the Promotion of Education, Health, Environment and Technology, which she currently leads. She has held several important positions within and outside the university and is committed to hard work, excellence, and research. Ladies and gentlemen, let us receive our host, Professor Ekeri E. Oko.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to be here this morning in your midst. Actually, when we started planning for this conference, it was looking like a mission impossible. Everybody kept asking me, is it possible? Have you seen the exchange rate? And I kept, communicating with them. What do you think about it? They say, well, we will manage. As a matter of fact, just like he said, there's nothing as good as coming out of your comfort zone and interacting with other people. This conference was born out of my trip to Manchester and Atlanta for a conference. I actually had about 5 offers, so I had to keep studying the event planners and making my own research upon them. I finally was convinced that Oluchi can deliver, and that is why we are here. We went through a lot. We went through a lot of, cutting down on things, agreeing on issues and all. And we were here yesterday. We had challenges which were quite upsetting. And to the glory of God, we were able to surmount. And I want to thank you all for your patience, for your understanding. And I also want to apologize again for all the inconveniences and the inhuman treatment you had at the earlier stages. It was not, a planned issue. It was based on circumstance. So please accept our apology. I want to tell you a little about Apprehead. Apprehead was born out of passion for interdisciplinary research. We didn't want a situation where you have an association that is based on your own area of specialization. We wanted to create a platform where people from different disciplines can come together with their different ideas and ways of looking at things, and then helping us to profess solutions to certain issues. We actually started at the local level. After the local level, we went national. We started collaborating with other universities and other bodies. After that, we now decided that it is good for us to go global. Get in touch with other people from outside our continent and see what is happening there. And the way you can do that is if you are talking about global issues, not your only local issues. That is what brought the theme of the conference. Peace and security is a problem globally. If you ever put on your television set or you visit any website, the first thing you see is crime, violence, war. That is why we are here. The papers we are going to present, just like our former speaker said, it's not just for the fun of it. It's for us to learn. Please, I want you to realize that peace and security is a collective responsibility. It's not for one person, it's not for the government alone. All of us have a part to play, and we are going to see those parts as we are going on. I also want you to relax your mind, enjoy yourself, interact with others, be involved in serious networking. It is through networking that is why we are here. If I had said I'm a professor, I have no business with somebody teaching in a college of education, we wouldn't have been here. So please drop your caps and interact. You don't know who is who and what who can offer. Interact with each other, enjoy yourself, and make sure that you make the best out of this environment. We have some important paper presenters today, which we are going to listen to, and we are going to have some interactive sessions. You cannot benefit if you don't listen clearly and put down something that you can find out what to do, more information, or your own contribution, because you are expected to also contribute. And we are also going to give out an award. This award is to our former Vice Chancellor. And the purpose is because he has supported APREHEADS from inception. And you know, whenever you come up with an idea, you have a lot of cutlasses pursuing you to kill the idea. But the man has been behind us, encouraging us, and making sure that we survive. That is why we are lucky to give him this award today. I want to thank you very much for giving me the privilege to serve, and for also being such wonderful participants and followers, because you've been so wonderful. And I want to assure you that from now onwards, we are going to have, you know, a better deal. We are going to enjoy ourselves, and we will go back satisfied. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Not just for the presentation that you just gave, but for having the audacity to come up with this International Conference on Global Peace and Security, for pushing forward in spite of the challenges, especially when I called to say this is mission impossible. She still wanted to go through with it, for the tenacity to see this through and bring us to this place. Let us one more time. I appreciate it. Now, we're going to receive a presentation from someone who is an expert in technology and in security. I will try to run through his bio, and he's a man of many parts. He's presently the Chief Executive Officer of Schaefer Global Management, but he also has a military background, right? And he served for about 20 years, or 30 years, right, at the U.S. Capitol Police. The U.S. Capitol is the U.S. version of our own National Assembly, right, where you have the senators and legislators. And he served with the U.S. Capitol Police for about 30 years as a communications expert. Now, he holds numerous certifications with the Federal Emergency Management Association, FEMA, which is like our own NEMA in Nigeria, or is it NEMA, as well as in emergency management, incident management, emergency communications, continuity operations, exercise development, and facilitation. During his extensive career, he has participated in security operations for 7 presidential inaugurations. Did you hear that? 7 presidential inaugurations, right? And 14 presidential State of the Unions, okay? 2 presidential laying in state funerals, several conventions, head of state and VIP visits, and congressional gold medal ceremonies. His expertise includes he has organized and implemented the first evacuation plan for the U.S. Capitol building, which evolved into the present-day Capitol campus evacuation program. He was the first vice chairman and liaison, as well as mediator to the U.S. Capitol police officers in several union-related issues. He created and implemented a statewide junior leadership program, including the supervision of a statewide multi-team training program. He created and implemented a battalion-wide physical security program, safety program, and security program for the Maryland Army National Guard. He created and implemented and commanded 3 new tactical quick response teams for the deployment in response to statewide critical incidents determined by the governor. He then oversaw trainings and briefings for senior executives, high-level dignitaries, and VIPs. He will tell you more about some of his current projects, especially those that are relevant to Africa and Nigeria. I should also mention that he has some expertise in the area of agriculture as well. Like I said, he's a man of many parts. He is definitely someone you want to tie into. You want to, after his presentation, you want to spend time with him and exchange contacts and see how he can benefit whatever project you have and contacts that you know. I was just telling him before the program started that we need to take him to Nigeria. He needs to come to Nigeria. As a personal business owner and entrepreneur, Mr. Schaefer was the CEO of the successful Koi Pond business for 10 years, including the design, installation, and management of a number of commercial and residential custom-created water features and fountains, lights, plants, and imported koi. His former clients include the Rotunda Condominium Complex in Tysons Corner, Virginia, and the Sunderland Condominium Complex in Centerville, Virginia. His capabilities also include working in several executive federal agencies to create a continuity of operations plans, facilitating exercises to test various security plans and strategies, and reporting final evaluation summaries to the executive office, participating in several national public safety communications standards for organizations, organizational structure, humanitarian assistance, project development management, and marketplace training. I should also conclude by saying he's my friend, of which I'm very proud of. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, let us receive Mr. Larry Shaker. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So most of all, I want to thank God. I want to thank God for this opportunity, and God for connecting us, and God for connecting us. Because if it had not, let me do this. Thank you. If it had not been for the Lord, there's a song there. If it had not been for the Lord, I would not be standing up here before you. All those accolades that he may speak of, if we go back 30 years, 35 years, I would be a young man on a dairy farm in Iowa, milking cows and baling hay, leaving home at $20 in my pocket, going away to the military, and eventually finding myself in Washington, D.C., where I started my federal career with Capitol Police, which led me to all the other things that he